Senator from Oregon is recognized.
Mr. President, let's talk about Trump's betrayal of middle-class America. In 2017, many of us warned that Trump's tax giveaway was a disaster for working families. It was a giveaway to billionaires. It was a giveaway to powerful corporations. It stole from America's treasury, increasing the debt of this country to gild the richest Americans. They wanted platinum treatment. They wanted more money than anybody else has ever imagined, and they got it from Trump by draining the American treasury. Well, that failed America's working families. There is nothing about giving several $100,000 to the richest Americans, that is each one of them, that helped a single working American. These policies are coming to an end in 2025. But now Trump, too, is coming along, and he says, I campaigned on working Americans, but I want to raid the programs for them and raid the Treasury to enrich them again. I didn't give them enough the first time around. The rich are not rich enough. I campaigned for working families, but I am going to betray them with tax cuts, tax giveaways, a tax rate on programs and the Treasury for the richest Americans. That is the Trump betrayal that we are facing right now. CBO says extending the Trump tax cuts would blow a $4.6 trillion hole in the federal budget over the next 10 years. And as my colleague just pointed out, Republicans are saying they might decrease the size of that hole by raiding health care for Americans. What an evil and twisted plot that is. What an assault on working families across our nation. 4.6 trillion. No, I did not say M for million or B for billion. We're talking trillion. 4.6 trillion dollars that should go to basic services for all Americans or reduce our deficit, instead going into the pockets of the very few. So who are you for? Are you for the very richest 1% and 0.1% of Americans who have so much money they don't know what to do with it? Or are you for working families? Because this Trump budget is the betrayal of working families. If you're for working families, you invest in health care, you don't raid it. You invest in housing, you don't raid housing programs. You invest in education, you don't raid education programs. Those are the foundations, those in a good paying job. Those are the four foundations for families to thrive. If you work an hourly job and make less than $34,000 a year, which is the case for 50 million American taxpayers, you'd get back $130 a year. Oh, $2.50 roughly, $2.50. All right, right now that's like less than a cup of coffee. Enjoy that every week, because that's what Trump cares about for those families who are working at the bottom of the ladder trying to move up. But instead of helping move up, he wants to take the programs away from them and give them to these folks who are going to get a $280,000 per person tax break at the very top. Look how skewed this is. Working families on the left get nothing. The richest on the right get everything. That's what we're looking at. And that little tiny $130, just a little change in the cost of drugs or your rent, your groceries, wipes that out. 2,000 times the help for the richest compared to those who are struggling. That is twisted. That is warped. That is a Trump betrayal of working families. So let's stand for working families. Let's stand for health care and housing and education, the foundations for every family to move up the ladder. Because that's what it means to care about every American family, whether they're being the party of the elite rich, like the Trump betrayal presents. Thank you, Mr. President.